Hello and welcome to Lifeline. I'm your host, Apostle Brian Pruitt. Today I want to talk about having the wrong leadership in place. When you hear this statement, sometimes the first thing that comes to your mind is someone that is evil or bad, that have some plans that are not favorable. Maybe they have plans that are more self-centered, okay, and not people-centered, or not there just for the better good. But you can have somebody who has a good heart, who has the best intentions, but still they're not the one. We make our selections, or we choose based upon how people look, how they sound, uh, by their, appearance, personality, so forth. But I believe that it is so imperative that you have the right person in place at the right time. One of the things that we know about God is that He is omniscient. He is omnipotent, and He is all powerful. Omniscient simply means that He's all knowing. And God knows exactly what is ahead. He already knows what the enemy has planned for each generation. And so, what does God do? God raise up leaders. God raise up leaders for a time. This is what also said about Esther. Esther's uncle, Mordecai, said this to her. He said, "Could it be that you have been chosen for such a time as this?" And I believe that every person, not only in the church, but also even in the marketplace, at every place of influence, there are people who are called to hold positions for a certain time. They're called to be there because there's something coming down the pipeline, and God Himself has them, appointed him or her or them to be in place to be able to withstand and help people navigate through that. God knows everything. He knows about the coming storms. He knows about men's hearts. And unfortunately, we know and we've seen this, how evil men can get together and plan things to try to destroy community and society. Okay. And so God sees all that. So what does He do? He put people in place. He puts people in place that have been called to stand for that time. Now, having the wrong leadership in place can cost you everything. Having the wrong leadership in place can cost you and cause you to have setbacks. And I just want to encourage you that if you are ever a part of any selection committee or any opportunity to choose, I want you to choose wisely. I want you to think about this one thing. Is this the right person for this time? Is this the right person to hold this position for this season, for this time, to lead us or to lead this company or community or church? Is this the right person to do so? Have they been called? Have they been assigned and sent to do this? You see, you know, this really goes beyond church because we see the ramifications of making bad choices, bad decisions. We have seen throughout the generation what has happened when we put wrong people in positions. Because what happens is that the enemy is counting on all of us to make decisions out of how we feel and how we what we want, okay, and even what we think. He's he is he is banking on that, and so I just want you just to really think about this because having the wrong person in place can open the door to many things. And there's some things that we deal with. There's some things that we fight against that are unnecessary. This is what happens when you have wrong leadership in place. So I want you to think about this. No matter where you are, no matter what place you're at, no matter what place you work, and as I said, if you are a part of making those decisions of selecting the right person, I want you to think about this now. It's not about just what they do, but it's all about have they been called to be in this position? Have they been called? Are they the one? Are they the ones? Is he the one? Is she the one that is for this time to lead this, no matter what it is? And if you can find that right person, if you can find that right person, then I guarantee you that you'll be able to withstand even the days ahead. Yes, having good moments, but you'll be able to withstand even the guaranteed storms that are coming. Jesus talked about this. He talked about the one who um, built his house correctly. The one who built his house according to his teachings, Jesus said. And the ones who didn't really paid the price. The one who built the house according to Jesus' teaching, he said likened to a person who built it upon the right foundation. The rain came, the flood came, the winds came, and it crashed against that house, but the house was not damaged. But then you had this one person, the one person Jesus compared him to, comparing this person to one who didn't listen to his teaching. They built their house upon sand. So the rain came, the wind came, and the flood came, crashed against the house, and the house was destroyed. So you see, sometimes, sometimes just by us rushing or just even making what I call emotional decisions will cause us to forget about looking long term. And I think that this is one of the things that we really are principles that we need to lock in on when we're choosing. We need to choose looking long term because the truth of the matter is that there is a wind that's coming, there's a flood that's coming, there's a rain that's coming. It's guaranteed. And it's all about having the right person in place. I say again that part of what we are seeing even now is because we have wrong people in wrong positions. And this is not just one area, you all. This is in multiple areas. You cannot stop the storm from coming. You cannot stop the rain, the rain and the wind, the flood coming. This is what Jesus was talking about. That is a guarantee. It's going to come. And you got to have a person in place that will be able to help and be able to navigate the people who they're leading through it. If you don't have that, it'll be utter chaos. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. Because having the right person that is appointed for that time, having the right person in place makes the difference. Like I say, even though I give biblical examples here, this nugget that you can use anywhere. And I feel like today that I'm talking to some people, they are in the position of choosing who is best for certain positions. That you have been given the responsibility of gathering with other people to make the choice. Who's going to be the next leader of this, or who's going to be the one that's going to head up this. And I even want to say this as well. I want to say to the ones that have this um, unhealthy desire to lead, I want you to be honest with yourself, because not everybody is called to be a leader. Not everybody is called to be a leader. And you have to be honest with yourself. You cannot look at the glamour. You cannot look at the prestige and all of that and say, oh, I want that so bad. And you know that you are not the one. Or maybe you are a leader. It could be the other side of the coin. But are you the one that's supposed to lead in that area? Once again, it matters not what place of influence. This is about everywhere, every arena. You have to be honest with yourself and know, okay, I'm not the right one for this. I'm not the right one to lead this or to do this. Somebody else, it's not me. So if we begin to kind of look at this and start making our decisions based upon what is coming ahead, then we'll begin to see a lot of changes. And there are things that we won't have to see, that we won't have to encounter, we won't have to deal with. In other words, even though the storm comes, you'll be like the house still standing. That storm crashed up against that house, but the house was still standing. And it was able to stand because everything was in place. They had the right foundation. See, having wrong leadership in place is like having the wrong foundation. It's like having cracks in the foundation. And if you don't have the right, if you don't have the right leadership in place, it's like bad foundation. Have you ever seen a house where you walk to the house and the house is leaning? Because the foundation is off. And so a company or a construction company have to come out and they have to jack up the foundation in order to fix it, to level out the house. I've seen a place like that. I remember being in a community center, and the worker there was showing me how far the building had sunk because the foundation was off. And so I'm telling you, this is how important this is, you all. Because When you have wrong leadership, everything that person or that group of people are supposed to carry, if they're not the one to carry it, that thing will crush. That thing will fail. It will crush and it will fall. So you have to have the right person in place that has been called to hold up the weight. And when you have a person that's self-centered, and you have a person or a group of people that's only thinking about themselves, everything that they're supposed to carry will collapse. And when the storm comes, they will not be able to hold it together. Having wrong leadership is like not having a foundation at all. Oh, you build the house, but you didn't build it on foundation or even the right foundation. So now there's no support. So my challenge today is to awaken you. My challenge today is to open up your eyes and to get you back to the place of thinking long term. See, this is this is the way God thinks. God just doesn't think about the moment. He thinks about long term. And when he put people in place, it's because he knows what is ahead. And he has already equipped that person to be in place to help navigate and help those they are called to lead to navigate through those times. So I hope this little session kind of gave you something to think about, and just hopefully this challenge you in some way, and even giving you a greater sense of responsibility in your opportunities to choose.